Hello and welcome to this Player Props edition of the Hockey Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I am your host, Ryan Gilbert, going solo here for this Player Props episode. We recorded last night, Joel and I, so if you want to go back and look at our conference preview a little bit more in depth for this Panthers-Hurricanes series, the Oilers-Stars series, make sure you go back and listen to that. A lot of good stuff in there, a lot of our thoughts on the games, the series, and a few some future stuff we like there as well. So make sure you check that out. Got all of our puck buck bets in there. You can check that out on our YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe there. Leave some comments, and also on Apple and Spotify. Make sure you leave us a 5-star rating and review. And also get in the Discord, sg.pn/Discord, and you can follow the show on Twitter at HockeySGPN. If you have any questions for me, you can shoot me a message on Twitter at rgilbertsop. But we got this puck drop in about 4 hours now, so we're going to get right into this game one at the Panthers plus 110 at the Carolina Hurricanes minus 130. The total is at 5.5. The over plus 110 and the under at minus 130. So you see the Hurricanes here as home favorites, which you would expect given the travel. They were just in Toronto on Sunday, come down to Carolina on Tuesday. Quick turnaround for the Panthers, and the Hurricanes just been good at home. I mean, they've been a great home team all season long. That's continued here in the playoffs. So you see that low total as well. Going to be, I think, a tight checking game. Going to be these teams maybe feeling each other out a little bit early on, seeing what works, what doesn't, but not a ton of chances. And you see that with the under 5.5 at minus 130. So pick and choose your player props. Maybe play a few unders here. Maybe do a few point stacks that I'm looking at. But yeah, for this one, I do like the first period under 1.5. I'm not sure what exactly that is at. Let me scroll over to periods. First period under 1.5, minus 130. The Hurricanes have gone under that in 10 of their 13 games so far, or 3 of their 10 so far, I should say. And Panthers 6-6 for the first period over under 1.5 there. So unless there's power plays called early, penalties called early, and a lot of power plays, even if there are that, I think the Carolina's been good on the penalty kill. Panthers have been good on the PK. So I see a low scoring game here overall. So I like that first period under 1.5 at minus 130. If you're kind of wary, there might be a few goals early, and then they won't score until late in the game or late in overtime. There, you can just go for a live bet. You can go for a live bet. There's 2 goals early. It might go up to 6.5. Then you can get that, or you can get to under 5.5 at a plus number. But I think this is going to be a low scoring, grinded out type of series with the Hurricanes doing what they do. Rod Brindamore came out and said, yeah, we know what we do. Teams prepare for it. They have to stop it now. So we'll see if the Panthers can stop it with their depth, with their skill. Going to look at some player props here starting in this one. Starting with an under, actually, is going to be Andrei Svechnikov under, or to not record an assist, I guess you can say here. Scrolling down to that, you got minus 212 at DraftKings. Minus 212 is pretty much the best odds out there. Minus 210 at BetMGM. He's primarily been a goal scorer. He has 8 goals so far in the playoffs, only 1 assist. That came back in game 3 against the Devils, so no assists in his past 7 games on the season. Now regular season and playoffs, he has an assist in just 32% of his games, a little bit less than a third. And like I said, should be a low scoring game. He has a lot of points, but not a lot of assists. Let me look at his season-long numbers here to corroborate that as well. 20 goals, 28 assists, 48 points in the regular season. So, maybe should have more assists in the playoffs, but he's primarily a shooter. He has not been doing much passing, not much setting up with the Hurricanes, not even scoring a lot. So if you're looking for an under like that, they're under an assist at minus 212 for Svechnikov. But someone I do like to get a point on the Canes is Seth Jarvis. He's at plus 126 for an assist. He's at minus 168 out there for a point, minus 158 on DraftKings. He's not always on that top line for the Hurricanes. Rod Brind'Amour likes to spread it out, but it looks like he will be starting on that top line as of the morning skate lines today with Svechnikov and Sebastian Aho. He is also on that top power play unit. So Seth Jarvis to get a point, minus 162. He had 2 points in the clincher against Washington, including that empty netter. Has points in all but one of his last 9 games here. So yeah, he's been a big player performer. Points in 2 of the 3 meetings against Florida this season. So yeah, minus 162 there for him to get a point, or just take that assist number at where's that at? Plus one something there, plus one something. Brad Marchand there, I like him as well. But Seth Jarvis, yeah, point assist for Jarvis, assist plus 120. Don't hate that at all. For him to score a goal, you can get plus 190. That's the lowest odds for anyone to score a goal. If I were to pick from one of the two, I probably would just take the assists for Jarvis. He does have a lot of assists in the playoffs. 3 of his past 4 games and 4 of his past 7, or 5 of his past 7. There it is. So Jarvis has been good setting up, good shooting. So like him to get a point at minus 158, or take that assist number at plus money. Then looking at 2 players to go under their block total. I know that might think they're going to be a lot of blocks on blocks with a lot of shot attempts. Hurricanes shooting from all angles. But I'm looking at Aaron Ekblad under 1.5 blocks at minus 142 here, and then Brent Burns under 1.5 at minus 162. Aaron Ekblad has not had more than 2 shot blocks in the past 7 games. Since coming back from that PED suspension, he's only done that once. He had 4 blocks in the first game against Tampa, but since then, only 4 blocks on goal, 4 blocked shots, I should say, on the in the series against Toronto. He's usually put out there in more offensive situations. Can't really control that as much on the road, but with their depth, I see Ekblad keeping that going, taking the under shot blocks there at minus 142. On the season, he's only had 2 or more blocks in 25% of his games. So we're getting a minus 142 number for that. I know the Hurricanes are kind of scary to take an under on blocks against, but I do like that there. And then pretty much same thing for Brent Burns. He's used very much in an offensive environment for the Canes. The Canes don't allow tons of shot attempts against, and Brent Burns he's getting up there in age, so he's not going to want to throw the body on the line to block some of his shots from the Panthers. Only had 1 block in the last 2 meetings against Florida, 2 in the first meeting this season, but 70% of his games he's had 1 block or fewer. So yeah, he's not really been doing too much. Only 2 of his past 20 games he's had 2 blocks there. So Brent Burn under blocks, Ekblad under blocks as well. And then one more final thing for the Hurricanes is going to be Frederik Andersen under 23.5 saves at minus 115. The Canes are just not allowing shots on goal whatsoever. I don't think he's reached that mark in many, if any, of the playoff games so far. Yeah, just 2 games against the Devils, and at least one of them went to double overtime. So against the Capitals, had 13, 18, 21, 19, and 18 saves there. We saw Florida only had 2 shots on goal in that first period of Game 6. They were held to 22, which was the low for their playoffs, but it had 23 early on against Tampa as well. I see a low scoring game. I see a low event game. That's the type of game that Carolina likes to play. Yeah, they haven't allowed more than 22 shots on goal in regulation in their past 8 games. In the first 2 games against the Devils, they allowed 24 and 26. So I like that there. Andersen under saves was always a possibility that the Panthers, run him a bit, whether it's intentional or unintentional, getting traffic there to the front. And we know he already had an injury in these playoffs. So I do like that under 23.5 saves for Andersen. If you can find it in regulation somewhere, I'm not sure if FanDuel offers that. I would like that a little bit better, because I do think this game, and pretty much every game the rest of the way, definitely has a chance to be going to overtime. Let me check real quick if Andersen has that. Yeah, 60-minute total saves under 22.5 at minus 108 at FanDuel there. So you're getting one less save, but you don't have to worry about overtime. So take what you will there. So game special saves. Yeah, I mean, if you like some of these games to go to overtime, take a look at some of these series specials, game specials with goalies to combine for an insane amount of saves, goalie to make like 50 saves in any game or something, 40 saves in any game, because we saw a quadruple overtime game 2 years ago in game one between these two teams. So could see some long overtime games here, especially with how both of these teams play. Taking a look at some series props now for this one. We talked about it last show. Eetu Luosterainen is going to be our boy here for the Conn Smythe for most goals, for most points. So here's the most goals odds for the series. You got Reinhart, Jarvis, Aho, Svechnikov, Verhaeghe, Barkov, Kachuk, all under 10-1. Bennett at 10-1. Then you get long Blake, Marchand, Hall, Rodriguez, Logan Stankoven at 35-1. Luosterainen, 8-2 there, still at 80-1. I don't think that's the best price available. I was shopping around before. I think there's still 100-1 at the very least, if not 150-1 for Luosterainen to have the most goals in the series. Yeah, I think it's 150-1. Same thing for points too. Points, most points in the series for Luosterainen on DraftKings here is 170-1. I think that might be the best price out there. It may have been 200-1 at Bet365, but he's right up there, tied for the team lead in points with Brad Marchand for the Panthers. Or second, does Reinhart have a ton of points? No, it's Marchand and Luosterainen both have 12. Both have 3 goals there. Yeah, I got Hal in the chat saying E2 2+ goals in this series. He got that at plus 275. I'm assuming that was at DraftKings. So I know DraftKings doesn't like him as much. So that must have not been DraftKings. You got a 380 for Luosterainen to score 2 goals in this series. And then 3 goals, he's going to be 16-1 here. He says Hal got it at 18-1. I'm assuming that's at FanDuel or maybe MGM or another book over there. But I am a bit wary about playing the 2+, 3+ goals, just because you don't expect a ton of goals in these games, and you can get a guy to have 3 goals to be the leader for the series. So I mean, you can get 18-1 there for Luosterainen to have 3 goals, or if he has 3, he has a great chance to have the most goals, and you have 80-1, 100-1 at some books there. You see other long shots that have a possibility. It's tough for the goal ones here. Like, I guess Martinook, he came up big last playoffs, maybe 2 playoffs ago in a series, but 80-1 is tough there. I was looking at some Hal got a plus 450 at 2 goals at Bet365 there, he says. Yeah, definitely check out Bet365 for the Luosterainen props. They have not caught on yet, so take that before the game tonight. But looking at the Hurricanes' advanced numbers at 5-on-5, their individual expected goals are you got Svechnikov there, you got Taylor Hall. So I don't hate Taylor Hall at 25-1. He's been shooting the puck a lot, especially at home. They do have home ice advantage. You got Seth Jarvis there right behind him, and Jordan Martinook is fourth on the Hurricanes in individual expected goals, 18 scoring chances, 9 high danger chances. No 5-on-5 goals yet, but I mean, if it takes 2 or 3 to get the most in the series, it's could be 1 plus an empty netter or 2. Like, some of these long shots are definitely worth taking a look at for the goals. Series most shots on goal is there as well, which is a interesting market, not one I had really considered looking at before. Just looking at the shot numbers for the Canes at 5-on-5. You got Svechnikov at 22, and he's the favorite at plus 330. Jacob Slavin has 21 shots on goal at 5-on-5, and he is not listed here. So I would imagine it would be a Hurricane. They do tend to outshoot their opposition, but Svechnikov would potentially be the only guy. He has 35 total through 10 games. Jarvis has 26. As for the Panthers, I'm going to switch over to them at all strengths. Sam Reinhart, 41. Sam Bennett, 35. Carter Verhaeghe, 30. These are shots on goal total so far. And those guys are the 3 favorites at 5-1 or less. So, maybe take one of these long shots if there's one that you really like. Aaron Ekblad, 75-1. He's been shooting the puck a bit. Anton Lundell has 25 shots on goal at 60-1. There are a few different angles to look at there. And then, looking at the Panthers, Panthers 5-on-5 underlying metrics for some, leading goal scorer, potential long shots here. It's Reinhardt, Bennett, Verhaeghe, Marchand, Barkov, and then, a little bit of a drop off in Luosterainen and Lundell. That reminds me for this game one, I was looking at a point stack for Marchand and Luosterainen, and you can add Lundell to that if you want to have the whole line. You get Marchand, Lundell, and a 2 here. It's going to be plus 750 on DraftKings. It's 10-1 at Bet365. I saw that earlier, and you can take them to get 2 points here. I mean, you can't take Luosterainen for some reason to get 2 points on DraftKings, but you can take 1 for him, and then maybe a 2 for Marchand to get that up a little bit. 2 plus for him would be 14-1 for Marchand to have 2 and Luosterainen to have at least 1 point there. So should be a low scoring game. So, maybe take a few point stacks to get better odds rather than have to lay, minus 190, minus 175, minus 150 for some of these points. Find ways to, parlay a few things together to, 2 line mates, 2 guys to play on the same power play unit as well are always good things to look at there. All right, before going farther here, we are brought to you by Edge Boost. Edge Boost is the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees and no minimums, and you can earn cashback rewards, plus 100% approval rating for all betting deposits. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. Deposit $25, and Edge Boost will match the deposit. That is edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. And of course, Underdog is going long for the NBA playoffs with their extender bonus. Hop in game one, and the longer the series goes, the bigger the bonus gets. So sign up with promo code HGP to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. That is underdogfantasy.com, promo code HGP. All right, going over to the Western Conference here. Starts on Wednesday. You got the Edmonton Oilers plus 105 at the Dallas Stars, minus 125. This total is at 6.5. Under is favored, though, minus 130. Over at plus 110, plus 310 for the game to go to overtime here. We are expecting a higher scoring series. Edmonton and we got a Hal did a nice point stack here with the whole Marchand line. 2 points. So I'll get 2 points at what's that? 125-1 there. So put $1 on that. You can have a pretty good pizza there at the end of the night. So why not do that for them? That they're definitely rolling right now. Looking at this Oilers Stars series, should be a high scoring series. So I do like a few more props here. Looking at the game here to start. You got to go Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid assist is plus 245 at FanDuel, seeing it plus 255 here at DraftKings. So make sure you shop around a little bit for that. 2 assists plus 185. Don't like that as much. But looking at McDavid, shots on goal as well. He has been shooting the puck quite a bit. Not scoring too much, but 3 shots on goal at least in 6 of his last games and 8 of 9. So he's been shooting the puck quite a bit, and he's had 5 or more in 4 of his last 8, including 2 of his last 3. So I don't mind a McDavid ladder here: 4 shots on goal plus 115, 5 at plus 260, maybe even up to 6 at plus 475. He did reach that. He reached 7 in one game against the Kings. So maybe keep it at 5, but 3, 4, 5 there for McDavid would be a way to look for me. Also going to look at Miro Heiskanen on the Stars side. A few days off after playing a few games, maybe you can get back into things. An assist is going to be plus 120 here. He had an assist there in the clincher against Winnipeg. Dating back to the regular season, has an assist in 7 of his past 8 games, 2 of 3 here in the playoffs. I don't think there's been any update on who's going to be on that power play unit. According to Daily Faceoff, it is Harley on the first and Heiskanen on the second. But I saw Pete DeBoer said, they're just they're just filling it up game by game. Heiskanen got on there one of the games against the Jets, so whoever's looking better, whatever the vibes are going on, they're gonna put out there on the top unit. So don't mind Heiskanen there to get an assist plus 120. If you want to take Harley as well, that might be an option. Also at plus 130, like he's been great for them pretty much all season long, which since Miro went down there, really showed out at Four Nations, so he's getting a lot of respect. But I don't like recommending unders on games where I think are going over, but if you think it's going under or you just want to fade the Stars a little bit, Jason Robertson to not record a point is minus 118 on FanDuel. Here on DraftKings, he is minus 148, so plus 115 to get a point. So there's a very little juice there if you get it on FanDuel. He had 1 point against Winnipeg, but I just don't think he's healthy yet. I think he came back early because it's the playoffs and wanted to get some time in. But Robertson is not looking like himself yet, so he can turn it on at any time. Playing second line now with Duchesne and Wyatt Johnston. Is off that he's not on the top power play in it though with Rantanen here now, so could be a good look there at Robertson. No point, minus 118. But yeah, also going to be looking at a few series long props for this one, which is it's harder to look at because you have McDavid, you have Draisaitl. They're going to be the favorites. They're always going to be the favorites. And their short odds they're not necessarily fun to bet. You want to have these longer odds. So looking at series most goals for this Western Conference Final, you have Draisaitl 3-1, Rantanen 4-1, McDavid there as well. But interesting going down a bit. Hyman 9-1, Wyatt Johnston 11. The guy I'm looking at though is Matt Duchesne at 35-1. He is on that top power play unit for Dallas. Edmonton has not had a good penalty kill. They shut down Vegas, but Vegas I don't think has that good of a power play compared to Dallas. And looking at their 5-on-5 numbers, Duchesne's up there. 2.21 individual expected goals, 10 high danger chances, 17 scoring chances. No points yet at 5-on-5, but if this is a series where 3 goals takes it, he could potentially get it there at 35-1. No one else down here really interests me. If Kasperi Kapanen 300-1. Some defensemen down here, Connor Brown 80-1. Yeah, there's just there's too much noise at the top that the guys that really should win it. Rantanen would probably be my favorite bet of the favorites at plus 425. I think there's a 5-1 out there at some books. And I know he was on the fourth line in practice or whatever, but Jamie Benn has the second most individual expected goals on the playoffs for the Stars at 5-on-5 behind Mikko Rantanen. He has 15 shots on goal, 15 high danger chances, 24 scoring chances. But like I said, fourth line, not on the power play. So tough to back him. But here you get him at 75-1. I think there's triple digits to 1 out there somewhere. If the Stars go cold a little bit, they might have to shake things up, see if Ben can get something going on the net front on the power play, or put him with scoring wingers, or put him on the wing with a line. So I think there's worse bets than Jamie Benn at 75-1. Maybe that's better to look at the points for this series. Most points, McDavid minus 105 favorite, Draisaitl plus 230. Maybe there's a little bit of a take Draisaitl plus 230 because he's tied with McDavid for points. Now McDavid has 1 more point than him, but Draisaitl is on his own line now, so there is a chance that he gets more points than McDavid, especially if Dallas tries to shut down the top line of McDavid for the Oilers. So I guess I don't hate that plus 230, but you got to look at some long shots here. This is where Jamie Benn 450-1 to have the most points in the series. Like if he gets hot, that could be some nice pizza money there as well. Also am liking Evander Kane a bit. He's shown up a lot in these playoffs, getting a lot of good playing time. So 120-1 there for the most points. It's a long shot for a reason. He's probably not going to get it. It would take a lot. I would probably avoid the most points market in this series just because it's going to one of the top Oilers guys. So maybe a Kane most goals is at 22-1. Shop around for all these FanDuel BetMGM, Bet365. There's some off-market prices out there that books have yet to correct to. So, yeah, but this is a series where maybe I would look at, the 2+, 3+ goals in this series. Looking at it, you can get a Stuart Skinner or Jake Ottinger to score a goal at 300 to 1 if you get a goalie goal there. But 2 goals for Matt Duchene plus 175, 2 goals for Jamie Benn plus 290. Adam Henrique has been pretty good, plus 320. With some guys I don't mind at the 2-goal level. 3 goals, guys I mentioned before. You got Evander Kane plus 360. Nugent Hopkins has been decent, plus 360 there. Evander Kane there. Jamie Benn 11 to 1 for 3. I think I'd rather just take the leading goal scorer at that price. Sagan, I just feel like one of these random stars is going to show up. So, take a few long shots there for the stars. 4 goals even. Evander Kane I think this is where I start liking Kane more and more as the odds get longer, because he could have 2 2-goal games and he gets 4 goals. They're at 11 to 1. Duchene at 20 to 1 for 4 goals. But like I said with the other series, maybe this one less so, but if you get 4 goals, you're probably leading the series in goals. So if you take Duchene to have 4 at 20 to 1, sprinkle him to have the most as well, or do that for whichever guy you like here. All right, let me look at some Conn Smythe stuff. But before that, we are brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm is your home for AI-backed picks and props. Dominate the playoffs, PGA, MLB, and they just launched the WNBA. Rhythm knows you'll love it. That's why they include a 7-day free trial. Rhythm has some amazing deals going on now. 25% off monthly subscription with promo code SGPN25 and 50% off annual with promo code SGPN50. That's RITHMM, promo code SGPN25 or SGPN50. Get your 7-day free trial. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. And the Circa Ultimate Fantasy Football Giveaway, Ultimate Fantasy Football Experience for a 12-person league at the Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. You get 2-night stay with 6 Double King rooms, a $5,000 food and beverage credit during your draft at a cabana at Stadium Swim, limo transportation to and from the airport, welcome party, $500 beverage credit, 2-hour open bar package, and more. Enter now until June 30th. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa for details. That is sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CIRCA. And can't forget about mybookie.ag. That's your place to bet on every sport, including the playoffs. And for the true DGens, you get the MyBookie money bag. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations, easy deposit, and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 in terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. All right, got the Conn Smythe odds up here on the YouTube video. Make sure you guys, if you can catch the YouTube video, I do recommend it. We do put all the odds on the screen. We're not going to read out all these guys for Conn Smythe, but a lot of visual aids there as well. But so let's just go team by team here. The favorite is Connor McDavid at plus 380 for good reason. If the Oilers win the Cup, he's winning it. If they lose the Cup final, he might still win it. We saw that last year. You can get plus 380 on him. Prices go to plus 380, plus 350 out there. So not too much of a difference when the Oilers are $1 less than that for the Cup at plus 265. Like that for the Oilers. Can't imagine any other way they win the Cup. I mean, maybe McDavid gets hurt and Draisaitl takes over, but I'm not going to be betting on injuries here. So McDavid plus 380 for the Stars. Mikko Rantanen has been the favorite for a while. McDavid did take him over, but Mikko Rantanen at plus 480, he could be a vulnerable favorite here for the Stars. Everyone remembers the great performance in Game 7 in college round. Everyone remembers the hat trick against the Jets. That was Game 1. Since that hat trick, he only has 4 points in 5 games and no points in the final 2 games. I expected him to show up a little bit here against the Oilers, but it would not surprise me if he goes cold a little bit. He still has 19 points in 13 games. If this series goes 6 games and he has 3 points, and someone else has 5 or 6 points or 7 points, you could see them getting back in the conversation. I have seen some talk about Jake Ottinger being a good look at 14-1, but he's going up against Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. I do not want to take that in case it's going to be a high scoring series, and then he'll have his numbers not be good enough to win the Conn Smythe. So you got to find a long shot going down. Thomas Harley at 100-1. He's been great on the back end. He's had a bunch of points for them as well. If he stays on that top power play unit, I like it even more. He's second on the points on the Stars in points with 11, 4 goals, 7 assists. A -5 rating though, and I know some voters do look at that, especially for a defenseman at -5. But not a bad look at 100-1 for a top defenseman. Rupe Hintz 150-1. That would take him getting moved off Rantanen's line or splitting them up, and then him getting hot. I don't see it, but this implies less than 1%. There's probably a 1% chance it happens. Wyatt Johnston 250-1. Joel's boy there. Joel's been all over him recently, saying he's getting chances and not finishing on him. So maybe he starts finishing, gets some points, drives the Stars to the Cup final, can kind of go neck and neck with Mikko Rantanen. So 250-1. Don't hate for Wyatt Johnston. Jason Robertson 500-1. Mason Marchment 500. Ben 500. Don't really recommend any of those, but Wyatt I think at 250-1 would be the best look there. Let me see what the prices are for him elsewhere, because that might be an off number here. 250 as low as 125, and 2 other books have 150. So if you can get 250 at BetMGM there, that's going to be the best price for Wyatt Johnston. Then we got the Hurricanes here. Frederik Andersen at +550. I think their path to the Cup is low scoring games. That means Frederik Andersen winning it, but he could get hurt. So and they also could just start scoring more. They could get some high scoring games. Anderson's numbers right now are pretty insane for a goalie, though. He's 7-2, 937 save percentage, 136 goals against with 1 shutout. So if he gets a shutout or 2 in these next 2 rounds and the Canes win the Cup, I see why he's the favorite at +550. You have Svechnikov and Aho and Jarvis all at 32-1. So take your pick there if you're looking for a Hurricane skater. I mean, Svechnikov has been the guy I'm looking for at 8 goals, but he only has 1 assist. And then Jarvis and Aho both have 10 points so far. So keep an eye on this series for Conn Smythe. We'll keep you updated, but maybe take your pick there out of those 3. If I really had to pick one, I guess it would be Jarvis. If he can see consistent top line minutes, he seems like someone that can be a big playoff performer for the Hurricanes. Don't hate Jacob Slavin though at 75-1. He's been talked up as a great defensive defenseman. He has 2 goals, including that winner. He's a +7. That is, like I said, something people look at, especially the older school voters there. But I think that's going to be it for the Hurricanes. I know Joel's talking up Logan Stankoven. Not sure if he's talking him up for Conn Smythe or probably just for the leading points, leading goal scorer in that series. But 440-1, he seems to Rod Brind'Amour seems to like him. Maybe he puts him on the top line to get him going at some point. But I think it's just one of those 3 forwards at 32-1 or Frederik Andersen at +550. We got the Panthers here. They got that's the interesting one. Is the Panthers Conn Smythe odds? You got Bob at 9-1, then a few other forwards down here. You got Reinhart 20-1, Kachuk 30-1. Hate that bet. Kachuk is clearly injured. I know some books have like series head-to-head props, like head-to-head points, head-to-head goals. If your book has that and it's anyone against Kachuk, I'd probably take against Kachuk because he's just not looking like himself. Maybe he shows up again like he did against the Canes 2 years ago, but don't think that's going to happen. Continuing down here, Brad Marchand 35-1, Sam Bennett at 80-1. The scoring has been all over for the Panthers. I mentioned it before. Marchand and Luosterainen is at 12 points. You got Sam Reinhart at 11. You got Lundell and Barkov at 10, Bennett, Kachuk at 9. But Bennett does have the most goals by a margin here. He has 6, and then Verhaeghe, Reinhart, Lundell all have 4. We saw Jonathan Marchessault, go on a run to win the Conn Smythe. Could see a similar thing from Sam Reinhart. 20-1 though. Not sure if that's long enough quite for me yet. Sam Bennett, 80-1. Maybe. I don't hate that. I liked it better at 150-1. Obviously, Sam Bennett has the 6 goals. Sam Reinhart has the 4 goals. So yeah, give me that Sam Bennett 80-1 there. Let me see if that's off market here. Yeah, 50, 60, 75, and 80-1. Sam Bennett is in the market. But if you listen to last night's show, if you listen to the full conference final preview, if you've probably gathered it by now, Eetu Luosterainen is going to be our big long shot here for the Panthers, tied for the lead with 12 points with Marchand. They're both 12 points, both plus 11. He could go on a run and he could get more points than Marchand and just really be that guy that drives the Panthers. Like, the narrative could be there, and at 250-1, I can't really see a better long shot bet on the board. There have been people out there that got 500-1, 1,000-1. I think Joel mentioned a 10,000-1 or something crazy at a different book, but 250-1 is decent. It's good. 150-1, sure, that's fine. It's worth taking these long shots, especially when a player can get hot and for 10 games and, you get a 250-1 ticket in your pocket there. Evan Rodriguez, 500-1. Don't really like that. So they got Eetu at 250. That's probably the way I would play it right now. Sam Bennett at 80-1 as well is a decent mid-long shot there. All right, I think that's just about going to do it for this player prop show for the series, and then for game ones as well. We will be back Wednesday, likely after the game 1 of the Edmonton series, to talk about both of the game 1s and then look ahead to the game 2s that are on Thursday and Friday. If you're not already, please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube, like and comment there. Subscribe on Apple and Spotify as well, and follow on Twitter at HockeySGPN. I'm Ryan Gilbert. You can follow me on Twitter